Dating in Poland. Let's break it down. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna give you a full guide on dating in Poland. Which cities you should go to, where to go out, okay, how to actually meet beautiful women in Poland, and whether Polish girls are actually receptive to foreigners. Let's break this down. And who better to explain all of this than myself? I was actually born in Poland, okay? I lived there for like 12 years. After that, I actually ended up moving over to the UK and living there for just over a decade. But I kept on coming back to Poland because it was so good. So I have plenty of experience as far as Poland goes. And I honestly think that at some point I might actually move back to Poland when I'm ready. Before we start this video off, guys, I just want to say that my program, Maximize Your Dating, is still 50% off until we get to 50 members, and then the price will come back to its original price. You do get access to a dedicated WhatsApp group where you can connect with like-minded individuals, and also going to get me inside of there to answer all of your questions. You get everything from A to Z when it comes to dating, guys: day game, night game, Instagram game, how to actually set up your dating profiles as well, like Tinder and Hinge. Everything is inside of there. So don't wait, the members are filling up. Link is down below. Get inside. So firstly, why would you even want to date in Poland? Like, aren't there better dating options for, passport bros? Well, this is number one reason why you would actually want to come to Poland, is because you're going to avoid all of the passport bros. Now, it really depends on what you classify as a passport bro. Like, I would classify myself as a passport bro. I think Tate's are passport bros. Like, they left UK, they went over to Romania. That's a passport bro. That's someone that basically takes his passport and says fuck you to that country and goes and dates in another country. So anyone that has left its original country is basically a passport bro. Now, I was born in Poland, in the north of Poland, in a very small town near Gdańsk. So I'm technically not passport bro, maybe because if I date in Poland, that's like my own country. And if I date in England, it's my own country. But then you could say like, well, no, you've left Poland. I don't really get the whole term. Like, maybe if you guys have a better understanding of what a passport bro is, comment it down below. But my understanding of it is just someone that has a passport and just dates in another country. Now, sex tourism is totally different. Like, you're going to avoid all of that stuff in Poland because there is no sex tourism here. So you're going to avoid all of these guys, especially from America, that come over to place like Medellin, Colombia, for example, where a lot of that stuff is happening. There are guys with dedicated YouTube channels that are literally talking about this stuff and telling you where to go and what prices there are. Like, that is absolutely insane that that even exists, but this is not the channel for that. So if you haven't noticed, when I actually travel to all of these different countries, I meet girls naturally. It was either through Instagram or dating apps or cold approach. I actually approach them during the day or at night time, and that's it. That is literally all I'm doing, is I'm using game to meet women and actually date them. So my whole thing is, you want to go to a country for dating, actual romantic dating, not fucking paying for it. Now, if you want to pay for it, leave this channel, and there are plenty other channels and guys that are into that. There is no skill set in paying, guys. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that guys are even doing that. It's like, and then bragging about it online. It's like, why would you do that? But then again, I get accused of that all of the time. And it's like, I'm just saying to these guys, like, do not think that if I was doing that, why wouldn't I do that every day and just vlog with a new girl every single day? So your logic doesn't work, because if I'm paying for it, why am I not doing that every day? Like, why not? And I could have, a really hot girl every single day that's a prosy, and just make videos with her and just lie to you guys and sell you a course. That's exactly what I do not want to do. I don't want to stand for that. And that's why my videos are fucking real. But anyway, besides that, you're not going to get that in Poland, and you're definitely not going to get that in Eastern Europe as a whole. I'm sure you can find it. I mean, you can find it in every single country that you go to. But generally speaking, it's not going to be in your face as it would be in somewhere like Medellin, Colombia. You have to actually physically avoid it, okay? You have to go to different areas where that is not happening, because you're gonna run into so many girls that are actually working. So that's number one reason a lot of guys decide to come to Eastern Europe and Poland, mainly because they want to avoid pros. and just girls that are working. They actually want to settle down with a nice girl and get themselves a long-term relationship, potentially a marriage. So first things first, where would you want to go in Poland for dating? Like I said, I used to actually live near Gdańsk. Okay, so I've been to Gdańsk many times. I've actually dated in Gdańsk, and I've also met a girl in Sopot before when I was over there for short trips. I usually go to Poland to like, go to a dentist, anything to do with my health. I always go back to Poland because I really trust Polish doctors. They're like very good. And so yeah, I had some good results there, but I wouldn't recommend you guys go there for dating because there's just not enough volume, okay? So places that you actually want to go to are going to be Krakow and Warsaw. Wrocław is not too bad as well, but again, the volume is really lacking and I wouldn't go there for that specific reason. So why do I say Krakow and Warsaw? Warsaw is going to be good overall, like during the day. At nighttime, you have amazing nightclubs that you can go to. And the nightlife in Warsaw is very good. Like, it's super lively. Warsaw has come a long way, guys. Like, now you're going to see supercars driving around. Like, people have money. It's not a city that you can go to and just like easily flex. So let's say if you're from the UK or from the States and you come over to Warsaw, don't be expecting like, oh, this is like poverty. Like, Poland is not poor. Poland is a very rich country now, and prices aren't going to be like extremely cheap as well. Like, if you're comparing it to like Moldova, for example, where it's going to be like very cheap, like piss dirt cheap. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then Krakow, I would say, is very good during the day. The nightlife absolutely sucks, and I'll tell you guys why in a second. But let's just start it off with, what sort of girls are you actually going to come across when you come to Poland? Well, number one is obviously going to be Polish girls. It's full of Polish girls because it's Poland, right? It's not like England, you go to London and like you barely see an English person. We keep our country very safe. We don't allow a lot of people inside of the country unless you have an actual visa and you're there legally. Now, you're also going to see a lot of Ukrainian girls that came during the war and also before the war. We did have quite a few Ukrainians. And you're also going to see girls from Belarus. So that's two other nationalities that you're going to see girls living in Poland. Now, me personally, again, I've got into trouble for this before, didn't get banned, but I got loads of hate comments. I said in one of my interviews that I actually preferred to date Ukrainian girls over Polish girls. And my reason for this is that I'm more attracted to Ukrainian girls. Now, we all have our preferences. Don't get me wrong. I think Polish girls are absolutely beautiful as well, and I have dated Polish girls in the past, and I think they're actually a lot more loyal than Ukrainian or Belarusian girls. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just, what I've have concluded through being on this earth for the last 30 years and actually dating them. But for some reason, I'm just more attracted to girls from Belarus and Ukraine. That's just like my personal preference. The average Polish girl, I don't really find that attractive. And that's just something that I can't change. I mean, attraction is not a choice, guys. We're only attracted to things that we see and that we find attractive. I mean, like that's all I can tell you. You can't fake attraction. You can't, mind fuck yourself to be attracted to someone that you're not. And it's just simple as that. And then you're also going to get some girls from Western Europe, maybe US or Canada, that are just there on a holiday. They're there for like a couple of days. They're traveling, they're having fun. Usually these girls are going to want to have like a short-term fling. They're not really looking for anything serious. They're just traveling. A lot easier than, it would be with like a Polish girl because she lives there and she's not going to just be super easy. We're going to get into that later on in this video. But let's start it off with, how receptive are the girls to foreigners? Like, are they actually going to like you? And also, how difficult is the dating market in Poland? I would say that the girls are very receptive. Like, they're super receptive to meeting foreigners. There isn't like any stigma that is like bad around you being a foreigner. For example, like in Medellin, Colombia, if you come to Medellin as a foreigner, immediately you are viewed as a sex tourist. Like, oh, he's here to try to get laid. And it's like, you have to speak to the girls that are a little bit higher IQ that actually understand that you're just traveling and you don't need to be in Medellin to get laid. And because of the bad reputation that Americans have created in Medellin, Colombia, now anyone that goes over there is basically labeled as that. And it's very difficult to dig yourself out of that hole. In Poland, you don't really have that. You know, we don't have that like bad reputation. Maybe English guys that are coming over here and they're just getting absolutely pissed. They're just pissing everybody off. You know, they're throwing bottles on the floor. They're just trashing the place and people just getting pissed off with it. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. But to be honest, everyone is very friendly. Like, I've never really had people being like super rude to me or anything like that. And the girls definitely want to meet foreigners, like especially Ukrainian girls. Like, Ukrainian girls absolutely love Americans. Like, when I was over in Ukraine during the war twice, like every single girl I spoke to, they were telling me like their dream is to literally marry an American, get the passport and move over to America. Like, every single one. And it's like, fuck, man, like what the hell has happened to the society? But yeah, that's what they like. So if you're American, I mean, you're going to do a lot better, I would say, just because of the fact that you got the passport than someone else. As far as the difficulty goes, I would say that it's a lot more difficult than somewhere like England. It's a lot more difficult than somewhere like America. I mean, US by this, and it's a lot more difficult than South America. I wouldn't say that is as difficult as somewhere like Moldova, okay, or Ukraine. Poland is very highly influenced by America, unfortunately, and it's slowly becoming like that. You see it in like these interviews they do in Warsaw and shit, where just, you know, girls are acting super trashy, and you never really used to see that before. But we still have a lot of culture, we still have a lot of morals. Girls essentially want to date for the long term, most of them at least, and they want to have kids and get married. So I would say that, you know, difficulty is probably going to be like a 8 out of 10. If I was to compare it to somewhere like Ukraine or Moldova, I would put it at like 10 out of 10 difficulty level. As far as like, you know, getting laid and actually getting dates there, okay? It's not very easy to get dates over in Ukraine or Moldova, okay? Especially with very beautiful women. I'm talking about actual beautiful women, not just like some random girl from the street that you're not even attracted to. Next up is going to be the personalities of the girls. I think that Polish girls have some of the best, the most amazing personalities I've ever seen on the go. Like, I used to date this one Polish girl just before I left when I was in Krakow, and she was just making me laugh all the time. And I hope she's not watching this because, yeah, like we were getting on really well, and I did want to actually like potentially commit and, you know, have some sort of a relationship going on, but unfortunately I didn't do that, and I left over to Bali. And, you know, the problem with me is that I travel so much, guys, that, you know, it's very difficult for me to have a long-term relationship. But yeah, Polish girls are absolutely amazing. They're super loyal. They want to help you in your business. They want to clean your house, clean your bed, like everything. They do everything for you. That's just been my experience so far dating them. And the same goes for Belarusian girls and Ukrainian girls, like very good personalities. These girls are like even more smart, man. Like some of these girls I've met from Ukraine or Belarus, like they speak multiple languages. Like some of these girls were fucking doctors, like speaking, you know, Ukrainian, Russian, Polish, you know, a little bit of Spanish as well. I'm just thinking, fuck, man, like that's crazy. You know, you don't really see that with a lot of the girls, especially when you go to Medellin, Colombia. She only speaks Spanish, bro. She doesn't even speak fucking English, let alone, you know, maybe Portuguese. Like, no, they don't speak any of that shit. Like, unless she's like a doctor and she's actually smart. I mean, it's not very easy to find that in Colombia. It does exist, don't get me wrong, but it's not very easy. Whereas in Poland, you know, pretty much every single girl has gone to university, has studied, and, you know, has a fucking job. Like, you won't see many girls on fucking OnlyFans. You're not gonna see many girls in sex work, or, you know, just all of that shit that you see pretty much everywhere in South America, and even places like fucking Miami and LA. You're not going to see any of that in Poland. And that's why a lot of guys are heading over there, because they realize, like, fuck, maybe I can actually come over here and settle down with an actual good girl that wants a long-term relationship, wants to actually date, to create something, not just have fun all of the time. So yeah, personalities are great. What about flakiness? I mean, I haven't had many flakes in Poland in general. I mean, obviously you're going to have good game. So if your game sucks, then that's probably why you're getting flaked on. But in Poland, it was kind of like, well, if I'm going to set up a date, she's going to fucking show up. Like, she's not going to just like flake on me and disappear. I actually flaked on this one girl, And I'm so pissed off that I did that because she was really hot and she was a dancer from Poland in Krakow. And I was supposed to meet her like near the church where the old town is. And I ended up meeting this Ukrainian girl because she was hotter. And I was like, no, but I still want to meet this girl because like she was such a good person. So I actually ended up flaking on her and she got so pissed off. Like she didn't want to meet me after that anymore. And I was like, fuck, I really messed up here because that girl has such a good personality. And she was a little bit older, so I kind of got on with her a little bit better. But yeah, I've not had many flakes in Poland, so I wouldn't say they're very flaky like they are in other countries. Now, as far as the gold digger problem, like, because that's a massive problem that men have to deal with over in the US, also in Latin America, in certain places, not all. Do you have a lot of gold diggers here in Poland? I wouldn't say so. I would say that Polish girls very good people, like they're not just looking at your money, like they want you to actually be a good man and they want to date for love. That's just my experience, at least. I haven't met any gold diggers here. Now, if we're talking about Ukraine, that's another different story. Like girls from Ukraine absolutely love money, and if you don't really have much money, then it's like you better have something going for yourself because they're not so, you know, keen on dating a guy that's not got shit together. But I do see girls like 50-50. So it just really depends on the person that you meet. But generally speaking, I would say that no, Polish girls are definitely not gold diggers. Most of them, especially the ones I've dated, have good intentions and they want to have a family. And a lot of them actually have many jobs. Like I've met so many Polish girls that have like 2 jobs, work their asses off, and yet they come home and they remain feminine. You know, they're not like super masculine and like over the top. They work their jobs, you know, they try to help you out as much as they can, and they come home and they're feminine and they don't really complain much. So that's just been my experience. And I also have seen many English guys dating Polish women. They don't want to date English women. Like I've talked about this, guys. I made countless videos on this. I even got a TikTok that did like 500,000, where I just sat in a car and I was just talking about how English guys don't even want to date their own women. They don't want anything to do with English women, so they left them, and a lot of them are dating Polish women, which is crazy. What's the average attractiveness in Poland? I would say pretty attractive, definitely above average. If you're comparing it to England, definitely a lot more attractive girls walking around Krakow and Warsaw. However, if you're comparing to somewhere like Moldova, I would say racial-wise, Moldova has probably some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. The same with Colombia. You can be walking around in both of those places, pretty much anywhere you go, and you're going to see attractive women. Now, if you're comparing that to somewhere like Poland or Ukraine, you might be walking around for a very long time, not seeing many hot girls, and then you come across a few. It's same with like, if I was to compare Colombia to Brazil. Colombia would have loads and loads of hot women everywhere you go, shopping malls, back alleys, just anywhere you are, you're going to see hot girls, gyms. And then Brazil, you can be walking around for like ages, man, and not see any hot girls. And then you see like a stunner. But overall, people are very slim. There is not much obesity. Girls are good looking. And when it comes to girls from Belarus and Ukraine, these are my favorite nationalities to date, I would say, just because of how they are. They're also kind of like foreigners to some extent, because like I'm Polish, but I don't feel like I'm fully Polish. Like I am, but I'm not really, because like I've left when I was 12 and I've traveled so many different countries, so I don't really feel like 100% Polish, I would say. And then when I'm dating someone that's 100% from Poland, and let's say she's never traveled, it's very hard for me to relate to someone like that. Whereas if I'm dating a girl from Ukraine, you know, she's traveled around, she lives in a foreign country, I think we can relate a lot easier. I think that's what kind of fuels that attraction that I have for them. I'm very tricky because like I like Latinas as well, so, and I like American girls, I like Canadian girls. Like I don't really have like a specific type. For me, it's more about personality and connection, like how well I connect with a girl. But that's besides the point. Next up, English. Do they speak English? I think everywhere you're gonna go in Poland, pretty much anyone from the age of like 10 to 35, 40 is going to speak English. Kids speak English nowadays. Like it's being taught in school, and you have to learn English. Like, I've always had fascination about English language. My mom used to be an English teacher back in the day, so I would always play games when I was a kid in English. I would watch TV series in English. My mom would speak to me in English as well. So that's why, like, my accent is a lot more like British, I would say, now, is because I've always practiced. Like, even before I came to England when I was like 12, 13, I think, I already knew English very well. So that's kind of what separates me from other Polish people that maybe came during the same time, but they still have like a really heavy Polish accent, because I just liked to speak English. I like the language. Guys, pretty much anyone you speak to in Poland will speak English, so that's not an issue. You go somewhere like Brazil now, or Colombia, and good luck. If you don't know Spanish or Portuguese, you're not going to really get very far. You're going to miss out on a lot of the good girls that you could have dated if you actually learn the language, because you can't communicate properly. So that's a big issue over there. Next up, we got femininity. How feminine are the women? I think Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Polish, because that's all of the girls that basically live in Poland nowadays, all very feminine. I would say super feminine, very submissive, like very, very submissive girls, which is what I like, because I'm a very masculine guy. So I do like a girl that's super submissive. So I wouldn't say we have many like masculine women like we have in the UK and some of the America as well. Obviously, I don't date any of these masculine women. If you ever see me with a girl from Canada, from America, she's going to be very feminine, because I will find feminine girls. Believe it or not, there are feminine girls in those countries. Like, some of you guys think that every single girl, like every 100% of the girls are masculine. It's like, no, it's not the case, guys. There are still feminine girls out there. It's just a lot harder to find. And lastly, guys, I would say, can you find a wifey material girl in Poland? 100%. 100%. I think, especially Polish girls, like I said before, very loyal, very family orientated. They want to have kids early on. So if you are at the point where, you know, you have enough money, you've traveled already, you want to settle down, you want to find a good girl to start a family with, Poland is a very good place to be, guys. Not just because of the dating, but also it's super safe, it's clean, it's getting richer day by day. Like, the roads are looking amazing, the architecture is great. And number one, is safe, guys. It's fucking safe. Like, do you know how dangerous UK is? Like, I know my best friend got attacked at a knife point and he lost his phone. I got attacked for literally wearing my Prada bag, okay, in England. And the guy tried to stab me, tried to kill me for literally 30 seconds. Actively tried to kill me. Luckily, I had a big jacket which I threw onto the knife, and then I took the guy down, I pinned him to the floor. Over 6 officers came down 10 minutes after, arrested the guy. He ended up going to prison for 2 years, and I had to deal with all of that for what? Just wearing my bag. Guys, you don't want to be in a country like that. And Poland is looking very, very attractive recently. The only thing with Poland is that obviously the weather is not that great. So during the summer, I think it's a great place to be. When it gets really cold, that's when I'm out. I just can't stay there during the winter. It's cool for like a week or two, but to live there long term is like, I don't know, maybe I can get used to it in the future. But for now, I'm just like, nah, I'll just go to Bali or go to somewhere in Thailand, or even go down to South America and just enjoy my life there, because it's just, you know, I like the sun, I like the heat. So that's why I'm not over there right now. But it's definitely a good place to be. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could say about Poland or Polish girls in general. Yeah, where'd you meet them? Okay, so definitely you got Tinder and Hinge. Hinge, you're going to meet girls that are traveling. You're not going to meet like local girls. So, you know, if you just want to like hook up, whatever, yeah, use Hinge. Tinder is going to be more like local girls, and some of these girls actually want a long-term relationship, so Tinder is actually pretty good for that. And you can use Instagram as well, so a lot of the girls would have the Instagram tags in the Tinder. You can then message them directly on Instagram. Make sure to build a high quality Instagram profile. The same goes for your Tinder and your Hinge. If you already built your Instagram profile, you can copy some of those pictures, your best ones, onto the dating apps and use dating apps. The way I meet the highest quality girls is cold approach and Instagram. So every single time I've met, or you've seen me like with these like really hot girls from Ukraine, Belarus, or Poland, in Poland, I've met them pretty much for cold approach. So usually I'll do street interviews, or I'll just approach them like during the day. I'll go to the shopping mall. There is this big shopping mall in Krakow, near the train station. I forgot the name of it. I think it's like Galeria Krakowska or something like that. You can head over there for some coffee, do a little bit of shopping, and you're going to see like all these hot chicks walking around. Boom, open. You have to have a good game, of course. Make sure to get the maximize your day in course. Go through the program, actually destroy your approach anxiety. So you start approaching, and then you're going to actually get those numbers, and you're going to, meet those girls. You need to meet them, guys. You need to actually approach, say hello, walk over, say hello, exchange Instagrams, because if you're missing out on that, you're not going to have much results in Poland, okay? If you're just relying on Tinder and Hinge, guys, or cold as DM with a girl that you don't even know, you will not get the same kind of results that I'm getting, okay? So I'm telling you, the best ones I've met in my life was always cold approach and Instagram. That's the best results. The least amount of flakes you're going to get through that, because if you don't know someone, she can always flake at the end of the day. But if you already met her, and you gave her a very good impression, and she likes you, you've been flirting with her, you've complimented her, you've made her laugh, you've made some plans to meet later on, it's very unlikely that she's not going to actually meet you after. Another place I would say is the Old Town. So the Old Town has got the square. You can walk around pretty much around there. There's loads of restaurants. You got the church near there as well, and that's pretty much where I used to do my street interviews. And you're just going to get so many hot girls go past, and you're gonna have to approach them, okay? It's your job to actually go up there and say hi. Again, cold approach is king there. And social circle stuff, I don't really believe in the social circle shit, especially in Poland. You don't really need a social circle. I think the only country I would say that you need a social circle in, that I found that it would be beneficial, would be somewhere like Moldova, because the girls are super close, super nationalistic. I'll talk about Moldova in another video. The same with Transnistria. Those places, if you don't know someone, you're going to struggle. So I've actually started to meet friends in Transnistria. I actually have friends there now, and it's not hard to make friends. It's actually a lot easier to make friends than to have romantic partners, guys. It's just so easy to make friends when you're in a new place. You just get there, you speak to everybody in a friendly way. You don't want anything from them. You offer value, and people will fucking like you. You have to be a likable person. If you don't know how to make friends, the best thing to do is just to read a book on how to win friends and influence people. You're going to get all of the steps in that book, exactly how to actually make friends. Very simple, super easy. What about nightlife in Krakow? Nightlife in Krakow is absolutely horrendous. Do not go out, guys, and avoid the strip clubs. You're going to get drugged, okay, in these strip clubs. Yes, you're not going to get drugged in Poland in general, but when you go to these fucking strip clubs, you're going to get drugged, and you're probably going to get robbed. And I've seen this so many times. These guys go in because there is some hot Ukrainian girl, probably not even that hot, she's a 7 out of 10, walking around and trying to get you in, and you've never seen a hot girl in your life because you're from England, and you come over to Krakow and you're like, oh my god, this chick is so fucking hot, and she wants me to go to the strip club, and then there's even more hot girls in the strip club, let me go in. And then you pay 5 to 10 times the amount that you would have paid for a beer. And then you stay there for 20-30 minutes, you get a few lap dances, and you just get absolutely rinsed. And what happens is, after they successfully done that, they actually slip something in your drink, and then they rob you. It's very dangerous as well. I don't know why they're not cracking down on that. It's just something that's not really that regulated, but I've heard so many horror stories about, guys getting drugged and stuff, going to these strip clubs. Just avoid strip clubs at all costs, guys. I recommend, if you want to learn game and you want to pull strippers, I did that when I was 20. Go out in Western countries, guys, where it's actually safe, and then just go out and practice. I never pay strippers, guys, so never go there to actually pay for a lap dance or something. Just go there to hang out and then try to pull the strippers. It's very difficult, but if you can pull a stripper, you can pretty much pull any girl, because these girls get approached by hundreds of men, okay? They're always, all the attention is on them. So the fact that you can go in there, not pay, and pull a stripper is going to be impressive. Later on, when I just proved myself I can do it, I don't really want to date those girls anyway. They come with a lot of drama. They come with a lot of the negatives as well. So guys, just avoid strip clubs, to be honest. Don't be doing that stuff in Poland. And also, nightlife in Krakow is atrocious. I would say the only other place that I would recommend to go is Kazimierz, which is basically a area where a lot of the Jews hang out. But if you go over there during the evening, you go for a tea or something, maybe a little drink, They have a lot of nice bars where you could just like sit and chill. They have a lot of cocktail bars. And usually these girls will go out till like 11, maybe midnight, and then they'll just go home. All right. And these are going to be some of the hottest girls that you're going to meet in those places. You're not going to meet them in Old Town, some shitty nightclub where all of the tourists go. I mean, if you don't believe me, go in there and you're going to get inside and you're going to see all these like sixes on the floor, running around, drinking the fucking alcohol, thinking they're cool. You're not going to see any beautiful, classy girls that I actually hang out with. So avoid that at all costs. Now, when it comes to Warsaw, daytime is going to be amazing. There's so much traffic. Volume is through the roof. Nightlife in Warsaw is very good. I would say that it's worth going out on a Friday, Saturday. There'll be a lot of hot girls going out. Even if, you know, you're not really into going out, you're not like a party girl, you're still going to go out once in a while because they do have really nice nightclubs. So Warsaw, I would say if you're into nightlife, definitely go check it out. But Krakow, I would avoid nightlife at all costs. I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I need to go because I've got a date coming up in the next 10 minutes. So I don't want to be late. If you guys made it to the end, give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know what you want to see in the next video. And also if you want me to add anything to this video, maybe something I've missed that you want me to talk about, I'll be happy to talk about that in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and as always, click that bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. Check the links down below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.